What it do, what it do, what it do, and welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Wind Down, your favorite chat show hosted by yours truly, Jer Bear, aka Jeremiah Neal, aka the Pop Culture Maven, aka Addison Ray Girl. Oh God, I love New York, love New York, love New York, love New York, love New York. Feel so free, feel so free, feel so free is my religion. I want to know who want me to play tour guide for them, okay? I am ready to show people around this city, girl. I am a New Yorker. I know my listeners must think I am insane, but that's okay because I'm just tooting my own horn. I've become very proud of myself for mastering, knowing how to stomp around these streets and get to my destinations, y'all. It's just so cool. And I love this city, and y'all got to come visit me. And let's go have a good old time. Because one thing about Jer Bear, y'all, we gonna get our steps in, boo, okay? I'm wildin'. Y'all, that is definitely my new stem sound. So if y'all hear that throughout this episode or on my social media or whatever for the next 3 months, just know that's the sound. Anywho, how are y'all? Along with my steps, I've just been trying out new coffee shops. That's been my new MO, and that's been a vibe. Definitely addicted to white chocolate. If I'm ever gonna indulge, I'm like over caramel. It's always gonna be a little white chocolate at this point. I don't know what that means for my life as a metaphor. But besides my coffee and my walks, y'all, I definitely been getting into that new music, y'all. Ugh, I love being a pop-holic. All my pop heads, you are not alone. I honestly have a love-hate relationship when it comes to streaming services, just because I'm all about having ownership over your property. I want to be able to own physical vibes in case they turn them servers off one day. We don't have access to this music. But sometimes these algorithms do be recommending me some new good stuff, y'all. Like David Archuleta just dropped a new bop that I definitely wouldn't have researched. And trust me, I listened to some of his stuff. They just recommended me that. They gave me that new Madonna girl. Okay, she is so proud of this Confessions on the Dance Floor Part 2. I know that's right, girl. Madonna girl took over Grinder girl. She said, I know my market, honey. I know that's right, Madonna. And then Flo's album comes out in about 3 weeks, y'all. Like, I'm just in heaven. This is truly what I live for, and I can't handle it, and I love it. It's a dream. Summer 2026 has officially activated, and I hope that I'm sprinkling some of that into y'all's atmosphere to get on outside and go live some life. Just live a little bit. Even in the rain, girl. I'll be walking in the rain with my little umbrella, just really enjoying the seasons, you know? Sometimes I think we take that for granted, and y'all just gotta dive into it. I also feel like living this way, especially if you are someone that suffers from like anxiety or overthinking, girl, when you be living, you don't have time to be worried about that stuff. And Anthony Ramos pointed this out on a song called Either Way. You be feeling depressed or just like not into things, the world just gonna keep on spinning. It's gonna keep on turning, girl. So whether you ready for it or not, you got to just try to stay present, stay in it, and just be with it day by day. Enjoy it. We ain't got to rush through everything. We got to lean into that unpredictability. You heard? Anywho, y'all, now that I'm out of my little motivational preaching bag, girl, we just gonna hop right into the main topic, girl. Hopping straight into the point. Enough is enough, is enough, is enough. I am very tired, girl, of the performative artistry. Enough with the performative artistry of 2026. This is not going to be a complaining vibe, but I'm just going to be clocking that reality, girl, when it comes to where this industry is headed and what we need to be doing to grasp from our veterans, girl, because what's going on? The pop music landscape used to be a large scene of unknown glory, I'd say. That's what I would classify it as. And now it's becoming so predictable, girl, that everyone can win the damn lottery. If you playing a bet, you know, everybody gonna win. Everybody gonna get flooded out. Where are the freaks? Where are the beatniks? Where are the oddballs? Where are the ones that want to push it to the limit? For real though, even Corbin, where are these people at? I need things to go into the next realm, especially as a pop-holic that's been able to absorb all the different shifts, changes, and recycled vibes, interpolations. You know what I mean? We just need something new up in the atmosphere. Now, y'all, don't get it twisted. We've always had forced acts pushed upon us. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest part about pop culture or pop versus indie culture is that usually an underground or independent artist is usually hunted on. Fans always find it so cool. They're so lucky to find this artist that's so unknown. Whereas, of course, you're supposed to know about the big commercial artists because they have the billboards and they had their music videos being played every hour on MTV back in the day. Or there were certain methods and avenues where you could just automatically tell that the artist was assigned artist number one and that they also had a nice machine behind them when it came to making the general public aware of who they were and their particular presence. And I think that's the beauty of pop music. It's the clever marketing and then the eventual positive dominance that you have over public opinion. Because you got to remember, by default, the general public is a very nasty piece of work, y'all. If you don't believe me, just go to any TikTok video and you just go see the craziest, the meanest, the nastiest comments known to mankind. I'm so desensitized to it that it's almost funny and comical to me, but this is not normal for how people are supposed to be reacting. So to win over all of those people, the real people, y'all, not the trolls, to win over those hesitant people and convert them to fans, that's such a big moment for a pop star, I'd say. However, for me, as I'm watching the rollouts, the releases, the lack of hype behind these people, the lack of push behind products, i.e. Harry Styles, girl, a tour is just not enough, honey. I'm starting to see just, again, a lot of forced vibes from signed artists, from the labels, and I want to say a lot of the releases that are coming from a lot of the independent acts are a bit mediocre, y'all, and I'm not saying that in a mean or antagonistic way. It's the truth. It's kind of like everything is becoming washed out from the independent end because everyone's is actually really good nowadays. Everyone's stuff is so good that the new standard of good is mediocre, you know, because everyone has access to shoot the music video, to upload at their own demand, to release just like the music acts on all distribution platforms. They have access to all the forums to market themselves, at least on the digital front. When everyone's just copycatting those same formats, I feel like that's where the ultimate lack of true identity in art manifests itself. That's when everyone's in the same playing field. So what we're experiencing now, I would like to call a democratization hangover. We're in an era right now where, because everybody is creating the most perfect polished record and everybody's making that perfect cinematic visual and everybody has the unique and dope style to build the niche fandom. Again, I'm not taking none of this away from y'all. I think this is beautiful that everybody can find their own little hill to stand on. But keeping it real, polish no longer automatically signals exceptionalism. One thing though that I do feel that could reverse this, that could just give us a little Uno reverse, is if we got back to teaching people to get into the heart and the anchor of art, which is not being afraid to be too nerdy or too artsy or too black or too bold, too quirky, camp. I don't know, just being weird. I think that is what makes you a baddie in the pop game. The 90s, that was the best decade because we had several acts, all, I would say, competing in air quotes, but wasn't a competition because everybody had their chance on the top and everybody got to the top. Everybody had great material. Just listen to these artists, y'all. In Vogue, Lisa Loeb, Third Eye Blind, Jewel, TLC, Maya, Natalie Imbruglia, Mariah Carey, Jamiroquai, Hootie and the Blowfish, Seal, Coolio, The Spice Girls, Blackstreet, Garth Brooks, Toni Braxton, Counting Crows, Christina Aguilera, Boyz II Men, Sade. Honey, all of those artists literally have their own special lane. But then if you threw them on a track together, it would have been the bomb.com. They would have been able to collaborate and cross-collaborate in genre styles, but it wouldn't be where we're in right now, where everything is such like a genre bend, girl. It's like an interference right now. Signal interference. It's not giving collaboration, it's giving interference. Nowadays, everybody just borrowing each other's sounds from all the popular genres, and it's making this big melting pot of mush. And then the same 10 songwriters are creating the same cadences that everybody wants to mimic and copycat, to the point where now all music is sounding like reminiscent of radio jingles from like the 1930s and 40s. You know what I mean? Very surface levelly, very nursery rhyme output with no depth. And part of what makes music production, music songwriting, musical output so awesome is for people to go all the way down the depths of where their mind can go, to not stay on the surface, to not stay limited. I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice as an artist if you just give me a la da 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 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna be the sunshine of your life. Like, girl, anybody can do that, girl. Come on. Especially with these dang sumo apps and these AI apps that are literally generating songs in 10 seconds. You know what I mean? We got to show that not only are humans just as cool and good, but it's so unique, it's so flavorful. It can be so wrong that it's so right. But transitioning from all of those amazing artists that I just named, this new era, this new frontier of musical pop artistry, literally I could narrow it down to like 4 categories if we really want to go there. It's giving algorithmic white boy, okay, one that can hop on to hip hop and R&B trends, but still try to push a hint of conservatism or a hint of vibes that I'm still like y'all and I'm still supporting for the white man. Mr. Jack Harlow, girl. I see you. We got the country redemption machine, and the king of that is dang Post Malone girl, was Mr. Hip Hop Head collaborating with Doja and French Montana and all these people, girl. And then all of a sudden now he love country. I'm a little bit of country. I'm a little bit of rock and roll. We got performance first pop artists like Tate McRae, for instance. She's giving Rihanna times 10. You just give her the hit. She go in there, she recorded. She already said that she recorded X's in 90 minutes. And that's one of my favorite songs by her, but I'm just going to tell you, I'm sure she is a great songwriter, and I'm sure like on those EPs and the earlier bodies of work, she put a lot of effort into the creation process. But her label is the type to be like, hey, we gonna give you a song that we think is gonna be a hit, and you just gonna do the music video, and we gonna rock with it, and you gonna do your little tilt like Kimberly from the Pussycat Dolls, you know? And then there are the culture curators, which they exist. They are here, and I need them to get the limelight. I'm gonna shout them out at the very end. These are the artists that are on next that are gonna take over, and that if we give them the right ammo, y'all, we go to their concerts, we buy the merch, we show them that we're supportive, we buy the physical copies of their albums, they could really bridge the gap between the old world and the new world when it comes to pop music. So in order to clear some pathway for the culture curators that I just named, we need to first crack down on the damn forced archetype of the algorithmic white boys. This includes Benson Boone, Alex Warren, Songbird. Now, I do love me some Harry Styles, but I have to throw him in there, girl. Like, he is a part of this list, boo. Role Model, Young Blood, Tommy Richmond. Like, I feel like these boys have been given just a little bit of Harry, for instance, when he won the album of the year at the Grammys. I think that was a stretch. And I love, again, you're talking to one of the biggest directioners here, but there have just been some power moves that have been made in the mainstream pop world that have positioned a lot of these boys to bite more than they can chew. Same thing happened with Camila Cabello. These people gas her up, say, you got to leave Fifth Harmony. You are a superstar. Everybody loves that voice. And as soon as she got solo, it kind of went down to down to down to down with each release after each album after each album. Less interest, less interest. You know what I mean? Stop letting these people gas y'all up in y'all ears. You know what I mean? Let's focus on the actual numbers, or let's focus on artistry, number one, instead of trying to copycat sounds. Where are the white boys from the 90s that love to play in the garages and bang, bang, bang and make the alt rock, you know? Like Benson Boone girl, it's giving knockoff Mick Jagger girl, knockoff Prince with some backflips. And it's like, we have already seen this. We already have David Bowie, honey. The eccentric girl's been doing this since the 70s, since the 80s. What would be cool, in my opinion, you breaking out of that Mormonism, or at least exposing it, talking about your evolutions, or poking the bear that way, the same way kind of that David Archuleta did when he decided to come out. If we went deeper into like the religious trauma, I think that would be a little bit more relatable and long lasting, or it would have more of an ever present moment, like some of that Taylor Swift stuff does, if you actually took it there. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to be from this wardrobe, girl. You can't just think I'm going to put on some sparkly pants and that's going to set me apart from everybody else. Everybody right now can go to Joann's and find them some sparkly pants, or go to Forever 21. Well, maybe not Forever 21, girl. They love a foreclosure. They love to close that store down. But you know what I mean? You need a little bit more than that, Benson. Same with Alex Warren. I know you religious, or maybe you not religious. It's given very gospel, adult contemporary. Like, it sounds like he gonna be the one that's gonna bring that category back. Adult contemporary charts like they had in the 90s. He gonna be up there with Eric Clapton and them people. And it's like, that's great. I guess everybody got an audience, but I need you to give me a little rah, 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 girl. Where is your Rage Against the Machine, girl? Where's the Foo Fighters? Get into that bag a little bit. I know you had some times where you want to wild out. I'm wildin', see? Oh my God. But you know what I mean? Show me the duality of Alex Warren, and not this, I got the Holy Ghost and I want to be on pop radio merger. Push it. Don't even get me started on Morgan Wallen, y'all. Not a fan, but I do need to use him as an example. It sucks because I actually messed with country. I was really big into country, especially in college. But folks like him are not carrying the torch that I like. Especially, I can't stand when racist people get caught doing some racist stuff. They always use God, doesn't see them that way. They want to go back to God's country and yada, yada, yada. Mind you, nothing of their music reflects anything religious or that they walk in any type of faith. Okay, it's giving very much Maca Minaj, Queen of Sex. And then they got her wanting to be some ambassador protecting children. Like, please make it make sense. Anywho, I think with Morgan, if he would just stick to being country as much as his mindset is, I could be for it. If you was giving me Garth Brooks, if you was giving me like them 90s country men, them Tim McGraws, I could support it. You know what I mean? But the majority of the sounds that he's pushing, it gives me Drake. It gives me hip hop. It gives me R&B. And so it's not as authentic as he thinks, merging all of these different sounds. sounds and stuff together. I also feel that Shabuzi is like the king of a performance, the king of performative artistry. Shabuzi might cross coon territory very soon if he doesn't watch out. Now, don't get it twisted. I love someone that can take all blessings that come their way and you rock with it. You get the brand deals, you get the endorsements, etc. He has also done some positive things like booking my girl Sierra from Summer House in his music video. So I like that, but it seems like everything is so calculated in a choice like such, you know? It's like he took the torch from Jason Derulo and hasn't turned back. He just ran with it. Same thing with Jelly Roll. He is giving Post Malone's uncle. He saw Post Malone was successful and was like, hey, I got some songs in my vault. I just got out of jail. Let me become a music artist as well. I know some people gonna support me. And sure enough, girl, climbing up the charts. Just greasy, girl. His music also gives me AI generated music. Very homogenous. If you were to play me a Jelly Roll verse and then play me the AI music, I would not be able to tell difference, girl. Just like Kiki. Oh my goodness. Same thing with our girls Cat's Eye, or I'll say Cats, because they definitely missing the eye candy. I know that's right. But not even with their music. We can talk about their styling. Like that has become so all over the place for this whole wild era, which I guess every girl has that type of like moment, but I don't think it's going to be as timeless as they think when they look back on this. I say this every episode I bring them up on, but it just seemed like we went to Pee Wee Playhouse in the Betsy Johnson warehouse and threw some outfits together and just called it a day. And I'm just like, ooh, where is the timelessness? Everybody want to quote Mariah Carey and Aretha Franklin and all these people, but y'all not embodying their spirits when it comes to your artistry, y'all. Come on. Same thing with Mr. Drake, the king Canadian cosplayer. Like him and Justin Bieber, I felt like they was going to have a duel with that. It's been a lot of Canadian folks, Shania Twain, a lot of people that's crossed over to American pop and have done their thing. And it has not necessarily been like derived from Canada. They making it seem like Toronto is just like Atlanta or Miami, you know. However, I do think Drake's copycatness should be studied, and how he's able to take that, absorb it, and then make money off of it should be studied. If we talk about a prototype pop star, I think it's him, even with the good and the bad and the ugly. Y'all might be shocked with this one, but Bruno Mars. I love me some Bruno Mars. Don't get me wrong, y'all. The Other Side with CeeLo Green and B.O.B., y'all. Whew, that's where Bruno need to get back to. Back when he was writing them songs for Brandy, girl, Long Distance. Because right now I feel like he figured out his lane of selling, which is mastering that 70s soul and funk sound, which is cool, but I feel like it's giving cosplay. Like he's like cosplaying the sound of blackness. I guess it's cool, but I'm like, when I know that you can just have your own lane, and because I've heard you do it before from your older music, it kind of makes me want you to just stay with that, explore that territory. Granted, he is employing a lot of black folks like as his backup singers and writers and stuff like that for his projects, which is all great. But honestly, so are K-pop labels, you know, but they still all have controversial moments, especially when it comes to the mistreatment of their black idols and such like that. So if we're gonna stick to our guns, we gotta stick to our guns, you know what I mean? It's the principle of it. They trying to highlight the middle work, but we gotta go to the top dogs to actually create change and actually just inspire people to just be really good at their craft, you know? Overall, what I was alluding to earlier, stop borrowing art from other genres and just go back to them garages, yo. I'm telling you, and go back to making that white boy music. Not just the white boys, but you know what I mean, yo. Go back to just get into our roots. We don't have to be so hooked up on trendy music, hip hop, R&B, etc. in order to feel like you have to chart or you can be a commercial success. If you think about it, it's really silly to base yourselves off of these rules and regulations when just 50 years ago, this type of music wasn't even allowed to be played on mainstream radio. You know, isn't that quite ironic that y'all want to base y'all principles off of something that is so recent instead of just following like from within? Come on, Alanis Morissette. But anywho, if you gonna innovate, you know what I mean? If you're gonna take something, if you're gonna borrow something, if you're going to interpolate, be wavy like T-Pain. I feel like he's a great example of someone that wasn't the first to use a tool like auto-tune, but he took it and he merged it in with a developing R&B sound that made something so unique, wavy, and fresh. And I think that reads so timeless today. Same thing with Jason Mraz. I feel like his shtick, he stuck with his cool storytelling, that melodic songwriting that low-key Ed Sheeran kind of ripped off, if we want to keep it a bean. But although Jason has experimented with a lot of different song genres and musical genres and song styles, we can always recognize his sweet tone married with his awesome songwriting style. That is unique. That is pop. When it comes to songwriting, Seven Streeter. Pen game on fleek, very identifiable, cool cadences, yet very alt R&B, you know what I mean? Fits into the realms of the blacks. Y'all, the artist black with the 6, not black people. But you know what I mean? Honestly, there are several artists that I feel like have the fingerprints of unique identity that need their flowers, need to be celebrated. We need to continue investing in these people. Obviously, y'all know I always bring her damn self up, but damn Tinashe, a fellow Aquarius, we love us some Nashe. I could do a whole dissertation about how she has true dominance in this industry and how she's on everybody's mood boards, whether we want to admit it or not. She is the golden girl of pop and alt R&B. I definitely got to give a shout out to Raven Lene. Oh my gosh, love her. Infinity Song. Tierra Thomas. These distractions. Y'all got to get into Tierra. Sienna Spyro, girl. I love her. And she was out there hanging out with Mano in France. This new artist, Hillary. Well, maybe she ain't new, but she new to me, girl. I love her. Hannah Jadagu. Siku. You already know I love me some Siku. Ray. Josh Levi. JoJo. Like these artists, y'all, if y'all want any examples of artists that I feel are great at exploring their vocal architecture, making cool rhythmic decisions, using unique POVs when it comes to their storytelling, teach me new vocabulary when it comes to their songwriting styles, are not afraid to push the envelope when it comes to production. Oh my gosh, Queen Herbie definitely goes into that category. And just also appreciating being an actual vocalist, having stamina on stage, stuff like that. Go listen to all of them. I'm just going ahead and make the playlist. I know I keep saying that every single episode that we're going to make a playlist for each episode, but we got to with this one because y'all need to be put onto that good. Y'all need to understand exactly what I'm talking about and who has the potential to carry this shit over to the next realm if we just gave them a chance and stop. And there's nothing wrong with everybody else doing their thing or whatever, but I do feel like we got to preserve some of the legacy somehow, y'all. So trust me and trust these artists. Always get into it. I always appreciate y'all coming over here and listening to you, girl. It always baffles me. I feel like the chosen one, but I'm so grateful to just sit here and just lock in and ramble and hopefully leave y'all with a bit of word to go on with your day with. But anywho, I'm going ahead and get on out of here. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe, leave me 5 stars, share this episode with a friend if you know what's trill, and go and listen to Sum 41 or one of them white bands that knew how to rock it out back in the day. We the aunties and uncles and we got to inspire these kids. Get into their original bag. No more performativeness, y'all. I love y'all down and I'll talk to y'all next week. This has been Jer Bear signing out of the weekly wind down. Holla. I don't want to waste my time.